Hello, power users. Welcome to a special glue tutorial. This one isn't about glue per se, but about a super useful tool you should master to make your work with the Interactor engine and other glue features much easier. The inspection tool on Google Chrome. Sometimes, when working with glue, you want to have a look at the DOM output directly, which is basically the markup of the page. You can do that with the inspection tool. First things first, let's right-click anywhere on the page and open our inspection tool. Usually, the first time you open it, it appears like this to the side. On the top, you can see your HTML markup, and on the bottom, you can find our CSS. Clicking this pointer icon here allows you to select any element on the page. Doing that will highlight it here in the HTML panel of the tool. With this highlighted, we can scroll down and see the CSS related to it. These little arrows here can be opened up to uncover the nesting DOM elements. For example, this div has a span inside it, and then that one is a span inside it, and so on. Now, personally, I feel more comfortable having the tool at the bottom of the browser, so we're going to change its position. On the left, we can see the HTML, and on the right, the CSS. To learn more about the DOM structure, let's say we want to change something in this outline. Let's highlight it, and then click on this little plus symbol in the CSS section. It will open a new selector for us, picking the most unique one it can. From here, we can change the color with CSS. However, let's take a look at the example we've set up here. If we type something in this form, an alert pops up notifying that we have changed the input. We set this alert up with Interactor, and we've used the inspection tool to learn about the correct IDs to target. Let's head back to the Elementor editor and take a look. In Interactor, we can see we have a trigger called Change Input, where the firing event is key down, and the target is Form Field Name, which is the ID we're actually going to find with the inspection tool. This is connected to the alert event, which is an alert interaction with a custom return parameter. You have changed the input, but where did we get this ID from? If we go to our form in the Advanced tab, we can see that the ID we gave it is just name. So you would think that using this ID in Interactor would work, but because of the way Elementor works, it adds a prefix to this ID. Here, we can see that the actual ID is Form Field Name. If we rename this to Name2 and refresh the page, you'll see with the inspection tool that the ID is now Form Field Name 2. This is important to know not only when working with Interactor, but in a general sense when working with Elementor. Understanding the DOM can solve a lot of problems for you. Let's take a look at the image too. You can see here in the HTML it has a width, a height, a source, and more information. Let's give it an ID back in the Elementor editor, my ID, and a class of my class. And let's try to find where this is added in the HTML with the inspection tool. We can see here it's nowhere to be found. But if I move up to the div that contains the image, we can find both the class and ID a bit further on. If we want to use CSS on this, pressing the plus icon again already catches the unique ID for it. But if you want to replace that and use the class, we need to add a dot before it to specify we're working with the image within it. By writing image, we can, for example, modify the width, working with the ID, which is actually better, as we said before, because it's unique. While the class can be used for many elements, all we have to do is write a hash before it, and then the ID. Let's toggle the width CSS once again and see it still works. This is especially useful when working with Interactor, as many times you want an easy way to insert a class somewhere you want to do an interaction on. We really hope this was useful, not only for its glue applications, but for web design and development work in general. Subscribe to learn more about all the amazing glue features, and catch you all in the next tutorial.